Hey now, what's up, y'all? Hey, election season is here, and elections are just right around the corner. Who y'all voting for? Like for me, as a black American, as a real black American, meaning a black American who was born in this country, whose parents was born in this country, whose grandparents was born in this country, whose great grandparents was born in this country, and so on and so on. You know what I'm saying? As a real black American who didn't come from immigrants. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, it just seemed like one party is for America and the other party is not. So who are you voting for? So you got one party, and like for black Americans, like let's not be dumb and let's not vote from off of emotions. Like right now, shawty, you got Iran. Iran just shot all these missiles. What's this the first of the month right now? It's about 3 o'clock. Well, it might be the second. It's October the 2nd or October the 1st. And it's like 3 o'clock right now, PM Eastern time. So right now you got Iran just shot a whole bunch of missiles, They sent that shit to Israel. You got this vicious ass Middle Eastern war going on. You know what I'm saying? You got Russia invaded Ukraine, and for whatever reason, we still sending money, billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine and shit. Like that's what's going on right now, right? Right now. So, the world is at war. And the people that's in charge are the Democrats. And Kamala is in office right now doing this shit. Trump was in office from 2016 to 2020. How much was shit costing? Like you go to the grocery store, think about what you was doing from 16 to 20. And think about the prices of shit now. She's in office now. If she go from vice president to president, what will change? She's in office now. So inflation is high as a motherfucker. You got countries that's going to war like shit. When Trump was in office, they wasn't at war. You got a border that's completely open and thousands and hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants and criminals are coming into our country every day. They're getting housing for free. They're getting placed in luxury hotels. They're getting bused in different cities across the country. You know what I'm saying? And our tax dollars are paying for that shit. So the person that's in charge of the border is allowing all that shit to happen. So when she become president, like is something supposed to change? You know what I'm saying? You got a party that wants to tell you that it's 50 genders. That's 100,000 different genders. Like, it's only 2 genders, bruh. But the Democrats want you to believe that it's 100,000 genders. The Democrats want if a man decides to identify as a woman, the man could look like me, but say he a woman. Yeah, I'm a woman now. You have to treat that person as if they're a woman, and you have to call them her, she, whatever. That's what the Democrats want. The Democrats want you to believe that kids can be transgender. So just like I seen on this commercial, like the Democrats are the party for them, they. Republicans seem like they're the party for you. Come on, man. Like, is that the country y'all want to live in? Y'all want a country to be overran by, and I'm only talking to Americans, dog. Real Americans that was born here, whose parents was born here, people that love this country. Cause it seems like the country is being taken over, like, and they allowing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking to Americans, man. So as a real American, do you want your country to be flooded with criminal immigrants by the thousands and thousands and thousands? You go to sleep, you know what I'm saying? You chilling, you know everybody in your neighborhood. You wake up tomorrow and there's hundreds of new immigrants all flooding your streets outside, you know what I'm saying? Begging for change and shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you want to send your son to school, but because the teacher think he's a little effeminate, they putting him in dresses without telling the parents anything? And then before you come pick your child up or before they get sent home, they put them back in the regular clothes and you don't know nothing? You know what I'm saying? Y'all want a country where men in wigs are competing with naturally born women. Sports, fighting, basketball. You know what I'm saying? That's how you want your country? Did the Democrats not force people to get vaccinated? What happened to your freedoms? It's supposed to be, how is it, you know, my body, my choice when it comes to abortion, but it wasn't your body, your choice when it came to that vaccine? You know, thousands of people lost their jobs because they didn't want to put some mysterious shit in their body. And then once Biden won the election, you know what I'm saying? Then they took the mandates away after a while. They took the mandates away and then people got their jobs back. And then Democrats want to take credit for, look at all the jobs we got people. Like, that's what y'all want to vote for, dog? How was it that they was talking about, Trump, he cool with Putin and Putin is so fucked up and all that? But Russia, they wasn't at war when Trump was in office. And as soon as Trump lose, now all of a sudden Russia is invading Ukraine. But also remember, they want to tell you Putin is the bad guy, like he your enemy. But Putin also the only person that I know that's a leader of a country, leader of a white country, who said that everybody in the Bible was basically black. And he had the pictures, old ass pictures and everything to show it. He's saying Jesus, everybody, they were black. That's what Putin said. And America wants you, Democrats want you to act as if he's your enemy. You know what I'm saying? Just like Trump said that African Americans built this country and we don't get enough credit for it. He wasn't talking about Nigerians that just came over here or Ethiopians that just came over here. He's talking about the descendants of slaves, the slaves. He actually talking about the slaves. The slaves was the ones that built the motherfucker. And Trump said that shit out his mouth. African Americans built this country and don't get enough credit for it, but they want to make you think that he's the most racist motherfucker ever. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all forget that when the Democrats forced their mandates and all these people, these thousands and thousands of people was losing their jobs? Fuck the free checks. We got them free checks too. Man, appreciate you, Trump. You know what I'm saying? Good looking. But do y'all remember how much the ones that got laid off because they didn't want to get vaccinated? Do you remember, and once you applied for unemployment, do you remember how much money you was getting? Whatever you was getting with your unemployment, you was getting that every week on top of $600. So you had motherfuckers that was getting like $4,000, $5,000 a month, and they wasn't even working. You remember that shit? When Trump was in office, gas prices was lower, food was cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Inflation was lower. I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? He was working on trying to build a wall and get this immigration shit under control. That was part of his plan. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Bringing jobs back to America. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? But all this open border, all these motherfuckers coming over here doing what the fuck they want to do, and you know what I'm saying? All this, it's a 50 different genders, and yeah, little kids can be trans, and you know what I'm saying? Little kids don't gotta have a gender, and they can pick their gender when they get a certain age, and trans women competing against real women in boxing matches and mixed martial arts, and you know what I'm saying? Russia going to war with Ukraine, and the Palestinians and the Jews going to war with each other, and inflation higher than a motherfucker, and you being forced to take vaccines, and all this shit is going on through the Democrats, and they telling you to vote for Kamala because she's black. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, don't vote off of emotion, right? And then another thing, how can you take a Hindu Indian woman, a man that was born in Jamaica that we don't even know his background, but he said that he was Irish. He said he was white. He come from a Irish slave master. He said his ancestors or great whatever the dude name who was the slave that was a slave master over in Jamaica, he's the descendant from that shit. So he owns slaves. His family owns slaves in Jamaica. So I know he got Irish in his blood, and I think he got I think he's Indian. I think he's a Hindu Indian that's part Irish that happened to be born and raised in Jamaica. His family was living in Jamaica. Just like you got a lot of Hindu Indian type of people who moved to Guyana like in the 50s or 60s or whenever they did that shit. So in the country of Guyana and South America, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of East Indian people that's from the country of India that was born and raised in Guyana for generations. You know what I'm saying? They born there, they parents born there, but their heritage, their ancestry come from India. You know what I'm saying? So you got motherfuckers that move around. So Kamala father, I think he's Indian and Irish. Her mother's Indian, Hindu Indian. How do that create a black person? Like when you look at her pictures, you know what I'm saying? You don't see pictures. If her father is so black, you never see her with pictures with a black family. Like you don't see her with the black side of the, like Patrick Mahomes, right? Patrick Mahomes, he mulatto, half black, half white. Anytime you look at his pictures, it's all a whole bunch of blonde haired white people. Like where your father's side of the family at? You don't see him with pictures with his father's side. You know what I'm saying? You don't see Kamala if her father is black. You don't see her with no pictures of no black people. All her pictures are Hindu. So her mother Hindu, like her uncles and aunts in them pictures, all them Hindu. All the women got dots on their forehead like the Indian people. You know what I'm saying? Her sister Indian, everybody's Indian. How the fuck did she become black? How? You know what I'm saying? Don't vote for a person just because you think they you. And that same so-called black woman married to a white man. That same so-called black woman come from slave masters. And then her ancestors were slave masters, and then she became a prosecutor and locked up more niggas. I seen a joint on YouTube where a lady, when she was locking up parents, so-called, pressing them out for, you know, the truancy shit when they kids wasn't going to school. It was a lady, man, who child had sickle cell, so she was dealing with that shit, sent her to the hospital, so she was missing school days. And they locked that lady up and sent her to jail, but then you'll have Democrats saying that, Democrat Shield saying that, oh, ain't nobody ever she ain't never locked nobody up for that. When she did. It's motherfuckers on the internet talking about that shit. And the lady was talking about how they made an example out of her. They got pictures in the paper, her in handcuffs and shit, because her daughter didn't go to school. But she ain't go to school because she was taking her daughter to the hospital and she was dealing with the sickle cell shit. You know what I'm saying? Ask Kamala about it, I bet she start and start, you know what I'm saying, doing all that laughing and shit that she do. You know what I'm saying? Like the woman said, I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna do something specifically just for black people. No. She said that shit. But you as a black American wanna vote. Hey dog, listen, man. It's gonna be two sides when it comes to this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have on one side Americans who strong and they standing on code, who don't want their kids to be fruity. I mean, if you grow up and you become gay, hey, that's just what it is. It's life. But you're not gonna push that shit on kids. You're not gonna lie and tell people it's 100,000 different genders. You want your borders controlled and policed properly. You know what I'm saying? You don't want people coming over here illegally, because every illegal immigrant, every single illegal immigrant, 100% of them, they're criminals. If you come across the border illegally, you're committing a crime. So everybody come across that border is criminals. So if you don't want, you're gonna have people that don't want it, they country filled with foreign criminals, motherfuckers that know what a man and woman is, a motherfucker that think you should have a right to not be forced to have vaccines, a motherfucker that remember what, you know what I'm saying, how we was living from 2016 to 2020. Motherfuckers that want to put America first, want to bring the jobs here. A motherfucker that's standing on code for real. You're gonna have them type of strong people, you know, the people they call toxic masculinity, they gonna be on one side. Then on the other side, you're gonna have a lot of men in dresses, women pretending to be men, trying to live like men, motherfuckers confused, telling you that kids are transgender, telling you that it's 100,000 different genders, motherfuckers forcing you to get a vaccine or else, make you lose your job because you didn't get a vaccine, and then when the mandates get lifted up, then pat themselves on the back because you got your job back. Like, what the people that's lying, telling you that a person is black when they're not. Come on, man, what side is you on, dog? Like, I don't see no positivity as a black American that Democrats are bringing. I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, I know that was supposed to be the party for black people at one time, I guess. But my question is, when Jesse Jackson ran for president, when he was trying to run for president as a real black American who actually marched with Martin Luther King Jr., why he ain't getting none of this support? Why when it comes to a black face that's going to represent our country, it can never be a black American that's from this country? Why it gotta be, yeah, you black, but it's some other shit going on with you? Like, one of your parents African, the other one's white, and you was raised in Hawaii. Or, yeah, you got a Hindu Indian mother, a Jamaican Hindu Irish father, and you was raised in Canada. Like, why can't it be just a black American who was born in DC, went to school, you know what I'm saying, who parents went to school here, born here, and we grow up and, you know what I'm saying, end up becoming, you know what I'm saying, why can't it be somebody born and raised in New York that's really from there, or a black person from Alabama, or a black person from Cali or something that's really being the president? Why I gotta be all these foreign and, you know what I'm saying? Like, understand what they doing, man. They letting you know that as a black American, you don't have nothing coming, man. As a black American, the Democrats are only fucking with you if you're going to be a shield for them. That's, you're going to kiss their ass no matter what, or you have to be part of the LGBT community, or you have to be an immigrant. So to all my real Americans, hey, I fuss with y'all. We can't support Democrats just like that.